This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on central government's efforts and initiatives for the welfare of farmers. The participants are Professor Ramesh Chand, member of Niti Aayog, and Lalima Aneja Dang, anchor.
Recently, the Prime Minister has been seen quoting that four groups need special attention and focus: the poor, the youth, women and the farmer. Ever since this government came to power in 2014, numerous schemes have been devised to improve the condition of farmers. Interestingly, even during the pandemic, the agriculture sector did quite well because, after all, food is a requirement for everyone all the time. And you think of a farmer, you think of soil, seeds, fertilizer, irrigation, insurance against climatic vagaries and pests, and so on, also the MSP. Well, for more on this, we are now joined by Dr. Ramesh Chand, member of Niti Aayog. Namaskar, Dr. Sahab, and welcome to Akashvani Studio.
Namaskar.
So the Prime Minister has been very vociferous about doubling farmers' income by 2025, and the government has initiated many schemes and reforms to support the farmer, the Kisan, or the Annadata, as we say, respectfully, for the farmer. One of the most popular schemes has been the direct bank transfer scheme, Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme, where 6,000 rupees is added to the accounts directly into the account of the farmer every 4 months. Now, does that give some kind of a cushion pension to the farmer, and does it protect the Kisan against distress?
This direct help of 6,000 rupees per year helped farmers in multiple ways. One is that it encourages them to make investment in agriculture. It helps them to purchase costly input, which are very important for raising productivity and raising income of the farmers. Thirdly, this saves marginal farmer to borrow from private lenders to buy input for agriculture. So it helped in many ways. These are the three prominent ways in which it helps, and its direct and indirect effect on income of farmer is much more than rupees 6,000 itself. If I give you example that 6,000 rupees can help a farmer to buy nearly 25 bags of urea. So you imagine if a farmer buys fertilizer and he applies fertilizer, his productivity increases and he is not spending on purchase of this fertilizer, how much increase in his income from farming will happen. So this way he can spend it the way he feels his return will be maximized, and also save the farmer from exploitative money lenders to some extent. So I would say that it's a big support for raising income of the farmer, and very important step in that direction.
It also, I think, helps farmers prevent getting into abject poverty. And we see that now the figures speak for themselves, that this government has helped improve the poverty. I mean, many people have come above the poverty line now. And I think this also has a role to play.
Yeah, this has, to my mind, rather than counting it directly that a farmer gets 6,000, I count it, and studies show it that farmers do not use this 6,000 rupee only for consumption purpose. He uses this money for investment purpose, and he raises his income further. So this 6,000 rupee has a multiplier effect. It results in increase in income, which is much more than rupees 6,000.
Right. Sir, let's talk about the minimum support price. Now that 2023 has been declared as the International Year of Millets, we also see that the MSP has increased to ragi and jowar and bajra amongst the millets, and they're also part of the public distribution scheme. Has that helped the farmer? Because once you encourage millet growing, the farmer is kind of empowered, because millets need less fertilizers, they are hardy crops, they are more full of nutrition, and they can grow with less water. So does that also help in empowering the farmer?
Yeah, Lalmaji, I feel MSP should be considered in a larger context. MSP among economic factors is the most important factor in encouraging growth of agriculture, in raising income of the farmers, because of several factors. If quickly I have to mention, the first thing this government did was, during their term, that they revised the formula for fixation of minimum support price. Now it is paid out cost plus imputed cost of family labor and minimum profit of 50% on that investment. So this is first thing, that earlier if MSP for some crop would be 1800, using this formula it has to be more than 2000 or more than 2200. So this is the first thing. Second thing this government did was expanded MSP scope beyond rice and wheat.
That's right.
Like you rightly mentioned, to cover nutri-cereal like ragi, pearl millet, sorghum, and oilseed and pulses. So this government came with a new scheme, PM Asha, under which even pulses and oilseeds are also now procured by government in large number of states. Now coming to millets need special attention and focus of policy for two reasons. One is that they are nutritionally superior cereal, though somehow they were called inferior cereal. In fact, they are the superfood and they are superior cereal if you compare total nutrients in bajra and compare it with rice or compare it with bajra. So one is nutrition superiority, that if a consumer eat 500 gram of nutri-cereal compared to 500 gram of so-called fine cereal, rice and wheat, the nutrition intake of the consumer will be much better from nutri-cereal millets.
Right.
Second is that we need millets because climate change is happening. That is a very big challenge, that we need hardy crops because temperature is rising, rains are becoming erratic, droughts are getting prolonged. So they are relatively much more hardy crops. They can withstand very high temperature compared to alternative crops, compared to the competing crops. So they are also part of the adaptation strategy to the changing climate and changing environment and changing pattern of rainfall. So millets, in fact, after our Prime Minister repeatedly mentioned about the importance of millets, there is a awareness among consumers. Even market has started giving much more price for millet than what it was giving before awareness about nutrition value of millet increased. So we expect that millet will start occupying much higher share in the consumer's plate in the coming days, months and years.
Moving on, sir, one very interesting phenomenon that we have in our country is that we have a huge number of farmers, probably 80% of them or so, who are small farmers, who have small holdings, less than 2 hectares land. How has the government come forward to help them?
In fact, during 2015-16, 85% of our farmers were below 2 hectares and they are classified as small and marginal farmers. So if you look at the schemes of the government during the last 9 years, there is always a special focus that if they are getting discriminated, if they are bypassed, they have to be paid due attention. Because you see, emphasis of this government is not only on growth and development, it is on inclusive growth and development.
Absolutely.
So that aspect always go when Prime Minister talks even about Viksit Bharat. He also talks about that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. So this, since 85% farmers are small and marginal farmers, and let me also share with you another fact with our listeners. These small and marginal farmers are more efficient, are productive compared to medium and large farmers. If you look at their productivity per unit of land, per acre, they make higher use of modern inputs and they produce more output per acre or per hectare of land. So this is the strength of Indian agriculture, and we have to maintain this strength. We have to safeguard their strength. So you just see whether it is a question of giving institutional credit. Efforts are made to say that small farmer, marginal farmer, they are not bypassed. When it comes to procurement of produce, it is ensured that small and marginal farmers, they are not bypassed. And the biggest factor is that what you mentioned in the beginning, 6,000 rupee per farmer. Initially, some policymakers suggested, and some states are already doing that thing, which is not, I would say, in favor of small and marginal farmers, that you give direct cash income to the farmer on per acre basis. Like Andhra is giving 5,000 rupees per acre per crop. So if you are small farmer and you have 1 acre, you get 5,000. If you have 10 acres, you get 50,000. But beauty of PM Kisan is that under PM Kisan, whether you have 20 acre, 10 acre, 1 acre, half acre, or 1/4 of an acre, you get 6,000 rupees. So per unit of area, small and marginal farmer get more assistance from this PM Kisan Nidhi, which I would say is designed to address the equity aspect. Similarly, whether it is soil health card, whether it is adoption of modern machinery, modern technology, this government is promoting custom hiring center. This government is promoting the farm service center where any farmer can go and they can take service of machinery, custom hiring basis. And certain schemes like drip irrigation and others, certain schemes, they are more favorable towards marginal farmers than others. So like this, there are so many measures because we are conscious of this reality, and we are also conscious of contribution of small and marginal farmers and importance of inclusive growth. This due weightage is given to the concerns of small and marginal farmers in policy making in the government.
Right, sir. So when we talk about, you just mentioned adoption of modern technology. We do see that drones are now being used and the government is encouraging drone technology for farmers where the drones can be used to monitor the farmland, the livestock. There is also a digitized India which is helping the farmers in the form of apps. We also have now thousands of FPOs being formed. We have the GEM portal where the farmer can be a master of his produce and sell. How has all that helped the life of a farmer in our country?
Regarding drone, this is a technology which is needed for efficiency, which is needed for precision. Like right now, if there is a disease in the crop, you spray on the entire land, on the entire crop. But if we can identify that only particular patches are infected by a particular disease, we need to spray only on those patches. So this is just one way that it brings the efficiency and it brings the precision. The inclusive part of this is the special attention paid by Prime Minister that the drone licenses will be given to some specific number of women. So Nari Shakti, but you mentioned youth, women, farmers. So even within farmers, the importance given to women, that drone license will be given to so many women. And there's a lot of excitement among women farmers about it. You mentioned about GEM, another kind of network which is being promoted by Ministry of Commerce is ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce. So FPO are being asked to put them on this network of ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce, which is like Amazon, that any farmer producer company, any farmer group, they can put their produce there. Then they can ask for that this quantity is available with us. We want to sell it at this much kind of price. It completely get rid of long chain of intermediaries. So that is other thing which is more recent, and already the reports are that more than 2,000 FPO have come on board ONDC. So this is part of digital infrastructure, then digital public infrastructure in case of extension, in case of diagnostics. So it is spreading in agriculture the way it is spreading in other areas.
Yes, and GEM has been indeed a very, very big success with a huge transactions being happening and farmers coming onto this portal and other craftsmen and other people also, small and medium industry people also, but it's doing very well. Thank you, Dr. Ramesh Chand, for enlightening us on the developments made in the agriculture sector thanks to the government scheme. So next time we have a plate on the table and we say Annadata Sukhi Bhava, we actually bless the farmer and wish that the farmer progresses in our country. Thank you very much, sir, for talking to us.
Thank you. Welcome again.
You were listening to a discussion on central government's efforts and initiatives for the welfare of farmers. The participants were Professor Ramesh Chand, member of Niti Aayog, and Lalima Aneja Dang, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about the program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928 909 4044.